There are many aspects to being the trained adult in the classroom, and I'm going to cover just a few of these additional duties, if you will. The first of these is lessons. We're responsible for giving pedagogically sound lessons using the appropriate language and analyzed movements. We have to be utilizing observation to make sure that the child is connected not only to the right lesson, but the right level of difficulty. And that when mastery is reached, that we are moving them on and not allowing them to stagnate in a level that's just not challenging for them. We need to make sure that we're giving enough lessons. This frequency in giving lessons is so important because when you have children that have received enough lessons that are the right lessons, the classroom becomes very calm and very peaceful. Now, on the other hand, if you have a classroom that feels like it's just very high energy and not settled at all, chances are those children haven't been given enough lessons, and that guide needs to really dig in, sit down, and start giving presentations. Next, I want to talk about record keeping. You have a responsibility to do the record keeping, and it's not always the most fun, but it's just part of our job. You have record keeping for what the children do every day. You have cumulative records for what they do every single exercise they do with you over 3 years. There are progress reports to be done. There's quite a lot of record keeping. You have lesson plans to take care of. What is each and every child going to be doing in every area of the classroom for the week? Your Department of Child Care Licensing is going to have requirements for this that you're going to have to meet. So make sure that your lesson planning is up to date. We do have a video on record keeping and lesson planning, so check that out if you want more detail on that. Partnering with parents is essential. And we spend so much time with the children. They tend to be our focus, and we forget that our parents have needs too. Each one of these children, that is that parent's most special treasure that they are trusting with us. So open lines of communication are absolutely essential. Send emails with pictures of what their child is doing, or send them a little email with something funny that the child said. If there was a rough morning at drop-off, make a telephone call to that parent to let them know that the child settled in and that they're okay. This is building trust between the two of you, but it's also showing the parents that you're invested in their child and that you genuinely care about their child. Now, when you have open communication like this, your parent-teacher conferences are going to be a whole lot easier, especially if there might be an issue that you're struggling with the child. Now, I want to tell you that if you see something very important that is really an issue you're struggling with, do not wait until a parent-teacher conference to sit down with that parent. You need to schedule something before then to make sure that you're both aware and both on the same page. Now, when you're doing parent-teacher conferences, I like to do something called the sandwich method. So you start with something great that the child is doing, and then if you're having an issue or there's something that they're really struggling with, you're going to sandwich that in next. And then you're going to end with another something great that the child is doing. This just helps make it a little more digestible to the parents. No parent wants to hear that their child is struggling with anything in the classroom, and this technique tends to soften that blow just a little bit. Parent education is very important. This is how we maintain our student base in our schools. Most parents don't have a lot of Montessori knowledge when they enroll their child. They might have done an observation to check it out. Most likely they've heard by word of mouth that this is a great program that they're enrolling their child in, but they need to know what it's all about. So a guide's responsibility is delivering parent education, but you have to deliver it in a digestible way. Don't go into the depth that you're going to receive in a teacher training program. That's just too much. but you need to be able to dial it down just a little bit so that parents do get a good understanding of what's happening at the Montessori school. You could do parent education a little bit on theory. You can focus on a specific area of the classroom, like how language is delivered or how reading is developed. And then a really nice one is if you follow a material or a concept, let's say geometry, from what the child experiences in the primary classroom to how they experience it in elementary and so on. Because the same material sometimes appears in those environments, but is presented in new and novel ways. The last element or additional duty that I want to bring up is professional development. If you're in a teacher training program, you've learned a lot, and your professional education doesn't end when you get a diploma or a certificate. Every year, you should be seeking out opportunities to expand or refresh your knowledge. There are a number of different conferences that happen that you can attend. There are webinars that you can sign up for. And don't limit yourself to just Montessori topics. There is so much available for childcare providers, for child neuroscience, child behavior. There's a lot out there that you can be growing and expanding your knowledge. I want you to also revisit those textbooks, those Montessori books that you have read, because as you grow in your experience, you're going to get new things out of each one of these books. I've been in Montessori going on 20 years now, and every time I pick up The Absorbent Mind, I get something new out of it. It's almost magical the way that it works. Always go through your albums. Every year, take time to just go through them and refresh your memory. I remember spending a summer going through my math album, and I discovered so many things that I had forgotten because I didn't take the time to do it sooner. And I tell you what, math in my classroom that next year looked so much different and was so much better because I had taken the time to revisit that album and remind myself what was there. Your professional development is really important because it keeps you fresh, it keeps you in the know with current trends in early childhood education and in child development theory and knowledge and understanding. Don't forget to find ways to engage in some kind of professional development every single year to keep you growing and expanding in your own personal practice.